What if the biggest reason most people stay broke isn't their salary? What if it's the tiny money leaks they never notice? $10 here, $10 there, fast food, random online shopping, drinks, subscriptions, impulse spending. It feels harmless because it's only 10 bucks. But what happens if instead of spending that $10 every day, you invest it? Not once, not when you have extra money. Not after you become rich, every single day, because this isn't really a story about money. It's a story about habits, about discipline, about time. And by the end of this video, you might never look at a simple $10 bill the same way again. Think about it. Most people can waste $10 without feeling anything. You order food delivery instead of cooking. That's $10 gone. You buy coffee and snacks every afternoon, another $10. You scroll online late at night and buy something you didn't even need. Gone again. Nobody panics over losing $10, but that's exactly why it's dangerous. Because wealth is rarely destroyed all at once. It disappears quietly, repeatedly, automatically. Now here's where things get interesting. Imagine taking that same $10 and investing it every single day into something that grows over time. A simple index fund, stocks, ETFs, a retirement account, something boring, something consistent, not gambling, not get rich quick, not some influencer screaming about crypto moonshots from a rented Lamborghini, just steady investing. $10 a day equals $300 a month. That's $3,650 a year. At first, that number sounds small, and that's the problem. Most people underestimate small numbers repeated over long periods of time because the real magic isn't the money you put in. It's what the money becomes. If you invested $10 a day with an average annual return of around 10%, which is roughly what the stock market has historically averaged over the long run, here's what starts happening. After 1 year, you'd have around $3,800. Not life-changing. After 5 years, over $23,000. Now it's getting serious. After 10 years, around $70,000. And suddenly, the small money doesn't look small anymore. But wait until you hear this. After 20 years, you could have over $250,000, and after 30 years, over $600,000 from just $10 a day. That's the part most people can't emotionally understand because humans are wired to value immediate pleasure more than future freedom. A burger today feels real. A nicer car feels real. A random shopping spree feels real, but future wealth feels imaginary. That's why so many people stay trapped financially. They sacrifice their future for tiny moments of comfort in the present. And here's the crazy part. Most people don't even remember what they spent that money on. Think back to last month. Can you remember every random thing you bought for 10 bucks? Probably not. But if you had invested those same dollars instead, your future self would remember. That's the hidden power of investing. It converts forgettable spending into permanent progress. Now let's make this even deeper because the biggest transformation isn't the money. It's the identity shift. The moment you start investing daily, something changes psychologically. You stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an owner. Consumers spend money to impress people. Owners use money to buy assets. Consumers ask, "What can I buy today?" Owners ask, "What can this money become tomorrow?" That single shift changes everything. And no, this doesn't mean you can never enjoy life. That's not the point. The point is intentionality. Most people spend automatically and invest emotionally. Wealthy people do the opposite. They invest automatically and spend intentionally. That's why discipline beats income almost every time. There are people making 6 figures living paycheck to paycheck. And there are ordinary people quietly building wealth because they mastered consistency. Consistency is underrated because it looks boring. Nobody claps for investing $10 today. Nobody celebrates you skipping impulse purchases. Nobody makes movies about index funds and compound interest. But boring habits create extraordinary outcomes and compound interest. That's one of the most powerful forces on earth, because compound interest means your money starts making money. And then that money starts making money too. At first, growth feels painfully slow, like watching grass grow. Year 1, tiny progress. Year 2, still not exciting. Year 3, most people quit. But somewhere along the journey, the curve changes. Your investments begin accelerating. The growth becomes explosive. And suddenly, time starts working harder than you do. That's when people say things like, "Wow, you got lucky." No, you got consistent. And consistency looks invisible until the results become impossible to ignore. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Most people aren't actually poor because they lack opportunity. They're poor because they underestimate the cost of small decisions. Every financial habit compounds. Saving compounds. Investing compounds. Learning compounds, but debt compounds too. Bad habits compound too. Procrastination compounds too. Your life tomorrow is being built by what you repeatedly do today. That's why this conversation matters so much. Because $10 isn't really about money. It's about control. Can you delay gratification? Can you prioritize your future over your impulses? Can you stay disciplined long enough to let time reward you? That's the real challenge. And honestly, most people fail it. Not because investing is complicated, but because patience is hard. We live in a world addicted to speed. Everybody wants results immediately. People want six-pack abs in 2 weeks, millionaire status overnight, instant success, viral fame. But real wealth usually grows slowly and quietly. It's built in silence. While everyone else is chasing shortcuts, disciplined people are stacking small wins every day. That's why investing daily is so powerful. It trains your mind to think long-term. And once you start thinking long-term, your entire life changes. You become calmer financially, smarter with decisions, less emotional with money. You stop needing to look rich because you're focused on becoming wealthy. There's a massive difference. Looking rich is expensive. Being wealthy creates freedom. Freedom to quit toxic jobs. Freedom to travel. Freedom to help your family. Freedom to survive emergencies without panic. And freedom comes from assets, not appearances. Now imagine two people. Person A spends $10 every day for temporary pleasure. Person B invests $10 every day for future freedom. At first, their lives look almost identical, but over time, the gap becomes massive. One person builds habits that drain wealth. The other builds habits that create it. One wakes up older, wondering where all the money went. The other wakes up shocked by how far consistency carried them. And here's the part nobody talks about enough. Starting small is actually a superpower, because people who start small learn discipline before they have big money. If you can't manage $10 wisely, you probably won't manage $10,000 wisely either. Money magnifies habits. It doesn't fix them. That's why lottery winners often go broke. And disciplined investors often become wealthy, even without huge salaries. Their habits carry them. So if you're watching this right now, don't make the mistake of thinking, "I'll invest later when I make more money." That's backwards. Investing is what helps you build wealth in the first place. And the earlier you start, the more powerful time becomes. A person who starts investing at 20 can end up far wealthier than someone who starts at 40, even if the second person invests more money. Why? Because time matters more than intensity. Time is the hidden ingredient most people waste. Every year you delay investing, you're not just losing money, you're losing potential growth on that money. That's why financially successful people become obsessed with starting early, not because they're smarter, but because they understand leverage. And time is the greatest leverage of all. So the next time you're about to spend money mindlessly, ask yourself one question: do I want temporary pleasure or future freedom? Because every dollar you spend is making a decision for your future. And no, investing $10 a day won't make you rich overnight, but it can absolutely change your life over time. That's the lesson most people discover too late. Small actions repeated consistently become massive results. That applies to money, to health, to relationships, to success itself. Your future is hiding inside your daily habits. And if this video changed the way you think about money even a little bit, hit the like button and subscribe, because understanding wealth is one thing, but building it is a completely different game. And remember, the people who win financially aren't always the ones who earn the most. They're usually the ones who stay consistent the longest.